Hello my dear students, welcome to your GK class. Today we are going to read a very interesting chapter, that is very high and very deep. In this chapter we will study about the highest elevation, lowest point and continent. In this chapter, we will study highest elevation, means the highest point above the sea level. Lowest point, the area which has the most depth. And continent, do you know about continent? Continent is a measure area of land that is separated from others by water or other natural features. So my dear students, how many continents on the earth? There is a 7 continent. There is a 7 continent on earth, which is Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Europe. And we know Asia is the biggest continent. So in this chapter we will read highest elevation and lowest point of every continent. So my dear students, let us start with number first. Number first, Mount Everest, Tibet, Nepal. So Mount Everest is the highest elevation of Asia continent. Along with Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak in the world. And it is 8,848 meters high from the sea level. And where is it? Is it on the border of Nepal and Tibet? Okay. So Dead Sea, Israel, Jordan and Palestine is the lowest point of Asia continent. So the Dead Sea is a salt lake bordered by Jordan to the east and Israel and the West Bank to the west. Its surface and shore are 430.5 meters below sea level. And Dead Sea is the Earth's lowest elevation on land. My dear student, do you know why it is called Dead Sea? Because there is no life or fish. In Dead Sea, there is no life or fish, and anyone can float on Dead Sea very easily. So, the highest elevation of Asia continent is Mount Everest and lowest point is Dead Sea. Okay. Number second, Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. Mount Kilimanjaro is a dormant volcano in Tanzania. Means Mount Kilimanjaro is an inactive volcano in Tanzania, Africa. So Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest elevation for Africa continent. And Lake Ashal. Lake Ashal is a crater lake in the Danakli Desert in central Djibouti, more than 150 meters below sea level. And it is the lowest point for Africa continent. So, for Africa continent, Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest elevation and Lake Assar is the lowest point. Okay. Number 3. Denali, formerly Mount Kinley, Alaska, USA. Denali is formerly known as Mount McKinley, and Denali is the third most prominent and third most isolated peak Earth after Mount Everest and Aconcagua. Mount McKinley or Denali is the third most prominent peak after Mount Everest and Aconcagua. Aconcagua और Mount Everest के बाद Mount Everest और Aconcagua के बाद Mount McKinley third most prominent peak है, and it is 6,190 meter high from the sea level. Death Valley, California, USA. Death Valley is the lowest point for North America. Death Valley is a desert valley in eastern California, and it is one of the hottest places on earth along with desert in Middle East and the Sahara, and 86 meter below from the sea level, means 86 meter depth from the sea level. So, Denali or Mount McKinley is the highest elevation for North America, and Death Valley is the lowest point for North America. Okay. Number 4. Mount Aconcagua, Mendoza, Argentina. It is the highest mountain in the America and the highest outside of Asia. Mount Aconcagua Mount एवरेस्ट के बाद ये सेकेंड नंबर पे आता है एशिया कॉन्टिनेंट के बाहर, बिकॉज वी नो माउंट एवरेस्ट इज इन एशिया कॉन्टिनेंट. सो एशिया कॉन्टिनेंट के बाहर माउंट अकांकागुआ सबसे हाईएस्ट पीक है. सो इट इज द सेकेंड हाईएस्ट माउंटेन इन द वर्ल्ड, but highest mountain for the Africa and outside the Asia, and it is 6,962 meter high from the sea level, and it is in Argentina. And Laguna del Carbon, Argentina is lowest point for South America. Laguna del Carbon is a salt lake in Argentina, and it is 105 meter depth. It is among the lowest point on the surface of the earth not covered by ocean. Laguna del Carbon is a salt lake, and it is 105 meter depth. So Mount Aconcagua is the highest elevation, and Laguna del Carbon is the lowest point of South America. Number 5, Vinson Massif. Mount Vinson Massif is a large mountain massif in Antarctica, that is 21 kilometer long and 30 kilometer wide. It is 4,892 meter high from the sea level. So, Vinson Massif is highest elevation of Antarctica continent, and Bentley subglacial trench is the lowest point for Antarctica continent. Number 6. Mount Elbrus, Russia. Mount Elbrus is also an inactive volcano in southern Russia, and Mount Elbrus is 10th most prominent peak in the world. It is 5,642 meter high from the sea level, and it is in Europe continent. Caspian Sea is the world's largest inland body of water, variously classed as the world's largest lake, full-flat sea. Caspian Sea is a world largest lake, means वर्ल्ड का सबसे बड़ा लेक भी कैस्पियन सी है, and it is in Russia. So, Mount Elbrus is the highest elevation for Europe, and Caspian Sea is the lowest point for Europe. Number 7th, Mount Kosciuszko. Mount Kosciuszko, New South Wales. Mount Kosciuszko is mainland Australia's highest mountain. At 2,228 meters above sea level. माउंट कोजियोस्को ऑस्ट्रेलिया का सबसे हाईएस्ट एलिवेशन है और ये 2228 मीटर सी लेवल से हाई है. लेक आयर, साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया. लेक आयर ऑफिशियली नोन एज काठीटंडा लेक आयर, and it is 9 meter depth from the sea level. So, Mount Kosciuszko is the highest elevation for Australia, and Lake Eyre is the lowest point for Australia continent. Okay? So, my dear student, now see and do you know? Do you know the deepest spot in the ocean? The Challenger Deep is located in Mariana Trench. It is so deep that if Mount Everest were to be placed into it, there would be more than 2 kilometers of water covering it. As now we have studied about highest elevation and lowest point of continent, but Challenger Deep is the deepest spot in the ocean. पैसिफिक ओशियन में चैलेंजर डीप एक डीपेस्ट बहुत ही गहरी जगह है जहाँ पे अगर हम उसके अंदर माउंट एवरेस्ट जो कि वर्ल्ड का हाईएस्ट माउंटेन पीक है, उसको भी हम उसमें प्लेस करते हैं, उसके बावजूद भी वो 2 किलोमीटर वाटर को और कवर कर सकता है। मीन कि चैलेंजर डीप इज द डीपेस्ट स्पॉट इन द वर्ल्ड। चैलेंजर डीप वर्ल्ड में सबसे डीपेस्ट मीन्स गहरी जगह है, लेकिन वो कहाँ पे है? वो पैसिफिक ओशियन में है, ना कि किसी कॉन्टिनेंट में। एंड चैलेंजर डीप इज नियर अबाउट 11,000 मीटर deep from the sea level. So, my dear student, after reading this chapter, we are able to know in all highest elevation and lowest point, Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak in the world and Dead Sea is the lowest point in the world. Okay, so now my dear student, you have to fill name of continent in your book. Along with you have to read this chapter once again and you have to make it notes. Okay.